Hey everyone, welcome to my live stream tonight. This is Annette. I'm with ASCardDesign and I want to welcome everyone who is tuning into the live stream. If you're watching this on replay, thank you for tuning in. I really think you're going to like this technique I want to show you tonight. It's a lot of fun. We're going to create we're going to try to do 2 cards tonight using a technique. We're going to make DIY pattern paper, and then I'm going to show you how to do the same technique using scrap paper, so you don't have to make your own pattern paper. So let me go ahead and switch down to the table view here and let's get started. Alright, so we are going to start by making 2 panels with our own background stamps. So if you're here live and if you can hear me okay, if anybody could just give me a little message in the chat that yes, you can hear, everything sounds good, that would be very helpful. It shows on my end that my mic is working, so let me know if there's any issues with anything. Alright, so we're going to be using this product from Gina K Designs. It's an elegant script background stamp. Most of the products I use tonight are going to be Gina K. If you are interested in any of the products that I am using, I have everything in the description below. So we're going to start off with this stamp, and the stamp has this protective like a piece of acetate on both sides, but I'm going to leave the one side where it is because we don't really need to mount this on anything. So I'm just going to ink this up and put the card panel right on top. So I just kind of want to make sure it's going the right way. And I'm going to just smear some ink on here. And I'm going to use these 2 colors, Turquoise Sea and Jelly Bean Green. And we're just going to randomly put the color down. Put some up in this corner, and you can see it right there, and maybe some right over here. And then we'll do the same with the Jelly Bean Green. We'll go down in this corner, and it's okay if they overlap a little bit. That's perfectly fine. Okay. And then I'm just going to take my card panel and lay it down, drop it on there, and then take a piece of paper towel and just wipe it over there. Just kind of go over it. You want to transfer that ink and the script onto the cardstock. That should do it. And that's what we're left with. We're just kind of like a 2-tone scripty. It really doesn't say anything. It's just scribbles, but we just want the effect of a script on the background. So that's the beginning of number 1 here. We're going to do another panel, but I want to wipe this stamp off. Welcome everybody joining in. I see you out there. Say something in the chat if you feel comfortable. Say hello. Let me know where you're watching from. If you can hear me okay, if you can see me okay. Alright, so that's that stamp. We're done with that. So let's just put this one away. And then the other one, the other background stamp I want to use is this one. And it is called Beautiful Patterns. This is a really fun one because you can stamp it on your cardstock and you can chop it up and have 4 different panels. Hi Vicky from the UK. Thanks for tuning in. So glad you're here. Alright, so we have this background stamp, and I'm going to use 2 different colors, or 3 different colors for this. I'm going to go in with blue denim, really in no particular order. Blue denim, medium spruce, and blue lagoon. So let's start with the blue lagoon, and I'm just gonna lay down some color. We'll put some blue lagoon here, and then we'll do some medium spruce in this corner, and maybe down here as well. Get that good and inked up. And then down here we will do the blue denim. Did I already do blue denim? Oh my gosh, I'm so confused now. I don't even know what I did. It doesn't matter. Whatever color we have is fine. I'm going to get a different piece of cardstock. If it's two colors, it's two colors. I mean, it really doesn't matter. And again, we'll just lay the paper towel over it. And see what we get. I don't know if this is a good or bad sign that I'm already losing track of what I'm doing. Gosh, we're not even a few minutes into this video. I think that looks fine. So we got, might be kind of hard to see on camera, but we do have, it looks like two colors. And this is a miss here. It's not a problem because we're going to do a little bit more stamping. And we'll just do some layering stamping, and I'll show you how that looks. And then when we're done, it'll look like pattern paper. It's really cool. All right. So let's go back to the first one first. And I'm going to bring in, let's switch out colors here so you can see a little better. Maybe you can see that a little bit better. And then for the stamping, I'm going to pull in the Ornate Birds stamp set from Gina K. And we are just going to do some random stamps. And I'm going to use some acrylic blocks. And let's start with, I really like these little sprigs. I'm going to start with this. We'll just put that on our block. And I'm going to go in with the blue denim again. If any of you out there are card or paper crafters or scrapbookers, let me know. I'd love to know if any of you do these techniques or if you're into paper crafting. Okay, so I'm just going to take this and stamp it in the middle. Just like that. I guess I can zoom in just a bit for you so you can see better. And then I'm going to take it again and I'm going to turn it and I'm going to stamp it in the corner. And we'll just keep doing that all the way around. It doesn't matter which way you're turning it, as long as you're just moving it in different directions. So we'll do the center and each corner. Okay, and that is all we'll do for that stamp. And then we'll just take in another, I think we're done with the blue denim right now. Just going to take another stamp, put that one back, and let's use this one right here. It's kind of like a flower that's not totally in full bloom yet. And for that, I'm going to stamp it in warm cocoa because I want a little bit of a contrast going on here. And here I'm just going to stamp it in the bare areas, the gaps, and I want to also go off of the page a little bit. Okay, and just keep turning it different directions. And I think we'll do one more up here. And then that's what we have so far. So you can see it's shaping up to be pattern paper. All right, and I think I'll pull one other shape and get one other color in here. Let's see. What do I want? Let's go with, I have all these colors on my desk. Let's go with, I'm going to really go crazy here, and let's pull in some dark spruce. This is a really dark green, but I really like it. And I want to go with, let's go with one of these leaves here. Let's see what that looks like. All right. It might be a little too dark, but that's okay. We're going to tear this up. We're going to just, this is going to be amazing later on. Okay, so let's Oh, that's not too dark. That looks really good. And again, I'm just going into some of the areas that need a little something. Maybe right here. And then maybe right here. I like how they kind of go off or onto the page. Sometimes it helps if you pull it up. I can see that looks like it needs something right there. All right. Sometimes I have to tell myself to stop. Okay, so that is panel number 1. Okay, so this one has blues and greens, and so does the second panel that we did, but I want to stamp it more in, like this one has more like earthy tones, I think, but I want to bring in some brighter colors for this. So I'm going to just use these 2 colors, this turquoise sea and jelly bean green. I'm going to just go with those and see what we get. And we will, again, let's do some, let's see, I want a larger image, but this is, well, let's use this other sprig here. I honestly think it's the same as the other one, just going in a different direction, but let's see what this turquoise sea looks like. Whoop. These blocks are slippery. All right, and again, we'll start in the middle. Let's give that a good press. And here, and that's okay that it seems like a lot of blue, but it's all right. I have a plan, a reason why I'm making it this color scheme. Okay. All right. That is enough of that. Now, let's bring in, I really want to bring in this little flower. I love the way this flower stamps. Got something wet all over my block. All right, and then for this, we're going to do the jelly bean green. All right, so we'll get that stamped up real well, or inked up. We'll just go in all around, just fill it in. Okay. I think it needs a little bit more. This is where I get carried away sometimes. It's like, stop, Annette, you got enough on there. But I just think it's never enough. I'm going to put one up in that corner, even though I might not use it, but I just want a little color there. Okay. So this is what we have. We have one that's more like darker and one is a little bit brighter, and that's exactly what I wanted. All right, so let's clean this off. Actually, I can put these away later. You don't need to watch me do all that. Hang on one second. Okay, and then let's go ahead and flip that. And then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in a panel that I've pre-cut. And these panels, let me just show you. I pre-cut everything just to save time, but we're making 2 cards tonight, so I have 2 panels and 2 matte layers. The matte layers, it's hard to tell, but well, you can tell, it's navy blue. And so my panels are always 3 3/4 inch by 5, or yeah, 3 3/4 inch by 5 inches. And the matte layers are always, for me, 4 inches by 5 1/4 inch. I just like that size, and I just hand cut these. I didn't use a die this time because you can make these cards. We're not using any die cuts. We're not using any master layouts to die cut the panels. Everything was hand cut with my paper trimmer. So you don't need all those tools to make nice cards. So the first thing I want to do, we're going to make one card using this pattern paper. So So first of all, I want to put some ink on this panel. And for this one, I'm going to go with, you know what, there's blue. This is going to seem a little crazy, but I'm going to use purple. And I'm just using a blending brush that had purple ink on it. Whatever is left over from a previous project. So I'm not going in on an ink pad. I don't want this to be very heavy. And I'm just going to bring it in here and there. And what this is going to do when this card is done, it's going to look kind of like a sky. So you can see it's just kind of maybe like an evening sky. This will make sense in a minute. Trust me. Okay. So then what you want to do with your pattern paper is you want to start tearing it. And you just want to tear it towards you. And you want little, I know this is really hard. It's hard to do. You just made this beautiful panel. But I'm tearing it so it has a lot of dips, hills and valleys. Okay, hills and valleys. So like that. Okay, and I want to do another one. And it doesn't have to be very wide, but you just want to kind of just rip it towards you. And then I can save this and use it for another project. And then I'm going to do the same with this. And let's go. Let's see. I'm making you dizzy spinning this around. I'm trying to see which way this script is going. Okay. So then we're going to do that. Okay. And we're going to do one more. So you'll end up with 4 torn pieces. And then what I want to do is I want to get a brown, or do I want blue? Let me do blue. I want a blue blending brush, okay? And I may have to use some blue denim, but let's just see whatever's left on the brush. And I want to just kind of darken the edges. And you know, you can just go over it this way, because we're going to lay these down on top of each other to create a hill. Although this isn't, my intention isn't for this particular card to be a hill. It's going to actually be a seascape. It'll be really cool. So these will kind of look like waves. And it doesn't have to be perfect, but if we didn't do this, see how that kind of defines it? If we don't do it, it just kind of gets lost. So we're just kind of defining one of the edges. Right, and then this is going to be the bottom of the card. This one's going to go down first. And hopefully I did that right. So, all right, so now we're going to bring in some glue. And now we're going to build our landscape, okay? So what I want to do is I just want to put some glue on that top edge. And we're going to alternate, because so these two, you know, came from the same panel, but we're going to alternate. And I'm just kind of lining up the one side. Okay, and you can put it wherever you want it. I'm going to grab a mat here. Hang on a second. This little silicone mat is really nice for gluing because the glue will not stick to it for some reason. It works pretty great. Okay, so then the next one we're going to use, you know, we're going to alternate. So now we're going to put glue on the back of this. Okay. And, you know, you can arrange it as high or low as you want. And then the final one, see how that's looking like waves or even hills? This is so cool. So then we'll glue a little bit at the top of this one. And I know a lot of that's getting hidden, but that's okay. That's okay. Alright, so we're going to glue all that down. Then this is going to get glued to the bottom of that panel. So we're going to, I like to turn mine over, because then I know where the glue needs to end, which is right about here. So then you can add your glue. Because we're going to cut this end off. Make sure the sky's going up the right direction, and we're just going to lay this right at the bottom, line up the edges, and press. Okay. And then we are done with the glue for that part. Now, let's go ahead and trim this. I'm just going to use a pair of scissors with a long blade, because it's pretty easy just to go along the card panel and trim it. And there's your landscape. Now, I want to show you, before we make this into a card, because the rest is just we're going to stamp it and then glue the card together. But I wanted to show you, you can also, if you just have scraps, like I pulled a couple pieces of scrap paper, okay, and I went with a different color palette. This one's more blues, because I kind of wanted it to look like the sea, and maybe that's seaweed. And then this, you know, maybe it will be more like mountains or hills. So for this one, let's go ahead and bring in a blue blending brush just with some leftover ink. Again, I want to make sure, I thought I had a paper towel here. Here we go. I want to make sure I don't have too much. And then we'll just bring in some of that ink. And since this is blue, you know, this will look more like a nighttime sky. And it doesn't take a whole lot. That's why I never clean my brushes off after a project. I just leave the ink on, because you can always, you know, use it for something like this. So here are just 2 scraps. They're just in my bin, and you know, this one's double-sided, but I think I'm going to use this side. And I'm just going to use, so I want 4 pieces, so I'm just going to tear these in half. And they have white core, so you can leave it that way, you know, or you can take a blending brush and brush the edges, you know, either way. Whoops, this needs to go this way. I think I'm going to leave this one white. I think I'm going to leave the edges white, because that kind of looks like snow. All right, so let's start with, let's see how I want to build this. We're going to start with this one at the bottom, and then we'll go, we will go this way. So let's just put some glue along the top edge here. And let's bring in this silicone mat, and we'll just glue that down. If you're a paper scrapper, you save all scraps. We don't throw scraps away. I have this little cart on the other side of my room, and I don't know, it's 2, 4, 6. It has 12 bins, 12 drawers, and I just have some scraps in there. The top drawer is white and cream scraps. The next one is whatever, yellow scraps, orange scraps. But I've been really good lately about opening those drawers and seeing what I could make with the scraps. All right, I'm sticking everywhere now. Okay, so we're just alternating the colors. This one's going to be a totally different look. And then we'll put the last piece here. Just like that. Okay. And then we'll go ahead and glue this down. Oh, let's see here. Yep, that's the right way. And I don't know, this technique is fun. I saw it, actually, I linked the video This was not my idea, as many of the things I do are not my idea, but I linked the video, the inspiration video. I follow Natasha Foote, her YouTube channel. She is amazing because she does come up with her own, you know, she does a lot of experimenting and she comes up with some amazing ideas. And so she did a torn paper technique. So I think her video it's Natasha Foote, and I believe it's video 1205, but it's in my description, but check it out. She's just so, I love her videos because they're short and it's all about technique and making a card, and I don't know, she just has really good ideas. I like it. And so there's our hills. Okay, let's get all these inks out of the way. Now all we're going to do is a little bit of stamping, and then we will put the cards together. So for that, I'm going to bring in my mini Misty, and we will make these cards come alive. All right, so we're going to start with this one, and we'll put it right into the platform. Make sure it's stuck down. And then I'm going to pull in this stamp set. Hang on, I got stamps everywhere. This one is called Autumn Silhouettes from Jana K. And these stamp beautifully. They're silhouette stamps, meaning they're more solid. So when you stamp them, they'll be the color, whatever color ink you're going to use. I'm using black today. So these, I'm going to use this stamp for both of them because this is really one of my favorites. And it'll look like wildflowers, or I don't want to say weeds, but the plants that you see around a lake or a pond, like the cattails and things like that. Even though I'm not sure that those are cattails, but it just, that's what it reminds me of. And I need to pull this up here straight so I can look at it evenly. Okay. So we'll just pick that up. And for the stamping, I'm using Jana K Black Onyx. It's my preferred black ink for stamping. Let me get this out of here. I don't think I need that anymore. Alright, so we will ink up the stamp. And then, where's my stone owl? I'm going to get that. Hit it with the stone owl. This is just a, it's carved stone. I got it at a home decor store. Actually, it was a nursery, but they have a lot of home decor. It's a paperweight, but I just cut out some felt. They have stamping tools, pressure tools, but I just thought, well, I'll just use that. It's like a paperweight. So what you see happening here is it didn't stamp very well because of this is thicker. So I just have to add more pressure to that part of the stamp. And that's all you have to do. Okay. And there you have it. So I'm going to ink it one more time because I want it to really stand out. Make sure that that really gets down in there. Okay, just like that. And let's go ahead and do this one as well because we're doing the same exact stamp. And since we're using the platform and position, these cards are the same size, or these panels are the same size, so the stamp will be in the same position. We'll just keep going. And then we'll stamp a greeting. And we'll get these cards put together. Now, normally you don't have to press this hard to get a stamped image. Like normally you don't want to press that hard because it'll just smear it. But like I said, because we have all these layers, and I'm going to, down here, like this flower, it really didn't get much ink. So I just want to go in one more time and make sure he gets it. And that looks better. Okay. All right, so there's our 2 panels. Whoop, we're not done with the stamping platform. I almost put it away. We have to stamp our greeting. Okay, so from the same stamp set, Autumn Silhouettes. Let's see, let's get this one put away. And let's see. I've been using this one a lot. You've been in my thoughts. This stamp set is really fun. May all your weeds be wildflowers. I like that. I'm going to do You've Been in My Thoughts on both of them, because you can never have enough of those kind of cards. Okay. So where to put this? We'll just go ahead and put it right at the tip of that tippy top of that wildflower, and I want to make sure, this is the hard part. Let me just look off camera. I want to make sure that this is straight. Oh my. Okay, that looks good. I'm gonna, whoops, it moved. Can you believe it? It moved. Okay, so I'm gonna make sure I'm trying to make sure my head doesn't get in the way here. And I think that's okay. All right. I'm going to show you a trick. After all this work that we've done, right? You can take a piece of acetate and you can just lay it on top of your card. You can ink your sentiment up. It doesn't even have to be a perfect stamp. You're just kind of seeing, is it straight? That looks pretty good. So we got good placement. And then you just pick up the acetate and clean it off. All right, so that's good. Now we're going in for the real deal. And these you do not want to press down too hard because you don't want to squish the letters. Okay, Even in My Thoughts. And this one should be the same placement. That's what's so nice about these stamping platforms. Okay. You've Been in My Thoughts. All right. So, on this particular card, when I was stamping, I noticed, I don't know if you can see it. Well, I think you can see it. There's like a white line here, and I'm going to correct that with, and again, a blending brush. I'm going to use brown, and just whatever is left on this brown blending brush, I'm just going to go in real light on the bottom edge, and it's just going to soften that white line. You can bring it up a little bit too. And that just kind of finishes it up a little bit, so it's not that definitive white line like, oh, I missed a spot. Nobody will know, just us. Okay, so let's put these together. Let me go ahead and let's get a white piece of paper so you can see a little bit better. I'm going to tape this down so it doesn't move. All right, I haven't been watching. How many times have I put my head in front of the camera and blocked your view? Am I getting better at that? I hope I am. I'm trying to stay back. Okay, so we have glued our panel, and now we're gluing it onto the navy mat, and I just think that a lot of times I use a black mat, but I wanted to do something different, and I thought navy would really set these cards off nice. And then I have my card base. This is a side folding card. And aw, thanks. All the thumbs up. I like these cards. These are so easy and fun to make, and you know, whoever thought you could make such a beautiful card with torn paper? Come on. So, you know, I was kind of going for waves. It looks like hills. I think if I would have made this last piece a little more shallow, it would have looked like a wave. When I'm done with these, I'll show you my samples, because I did 2 of these similar, And of course they came out, I think they came out a little bit better for the look I was going for, but I do like these two. And that's what's so fun. Like, that's why I really like handmade cards. Like, no two will be alike. Like, the ink blending is a little different. The tear of the paper, if you're doing these, it's a little bit different each time. So I'm just making sure that that's opening the right way. Thanks for watching. And then we'll get that guy down. Okay. All right, so those are the two cards. What do you think? Pretty cool, huh? All right, so let me show you. This one is the one I kind of wanted to look like the sea. This was my sample that I did the other day. I just used a purple blending brush, whatever ink was on there. But see, my layers aren't as, they're a little bit more narrow, and it kind of looks like waves more. But I don't know. I like them both. And then I did this one. I stamped it with "May all your weeds be wildflowers," and this one I kind of did with different paper to make it look like maybe mountains or hills. So you can really have fun with this technique, and really your imagination, you know, you can do anything. So those are my finished cards for tonight. I want to thank you for joining me, and if you're watching the replay, again, thanks, and you know what to do. Like it, subscribe. I'd love to see you next week. So until then, have a great week, everybody. See ya.